Hey minions, Princess Sarissa here, and when we last left off, I was in the Pirate's Cave here. We got the Sildra summon, and I had just powered up the chicken knife to its max power. As you can see, when I equip the power knife, the power staff, I have 0 attack. The chicken knife, 127. That's the max attack power that it can get. So it took a little while. It took a lot of running from a bunch of battles, but like I said, those battles, because they're such high level and those enemies are so weak, it's pretty much very easy to run from them, and if you do get hit during all that time, all you have to do is just heal up at that healing pod, the pool. So we had some gargoyles there, took care of them. As always, you always want to make sure that your gargoyles are taken out at the same time. And here we are at the Island Shrine. Within an island shrine, kissed by wind, a tablet rests. This dungeon is much shorter and easier and less of a pain in the dupa than the pyramid. It does have some traps, but the main traps are floor holes, so they don't really do damage. They just put you back usually one floor. If you have a geomancer, you can use their terrain ability, not their terrain ability, but their innate ability to detect traps on the terrain, and you'll avoid those pitfalls. So, yeah, but otherwise, not too bad of a dungeon. Much easier than the pyramid. But I guess in order to stay with being annoying, while the dungeon itself isn't that bad, the boss of the dungeon is a different story altogether. Yep, he's a pain. These enemies, though, not too much of a pain. The worst enemies were those ones that we just saw before, because they have a bunch of status spells, level 4 quarter, level 2 old, and unfortunately many of our party members are level 36, which means they can get hit by both level 2 old and the level 4 quarter. So definitely after this one, we're gonna have to re-heal up on we're gonna have to restock up on our ethers and our high potions. One thing about this little thing, there's another gimmick in this little dungeon, and it's we'll see coming up in this next room here. There's these little like air vents, and when you like step in front of one of them, it kind of sucks you through. So you step in and it sucks you up, and you get teleported all around. And they have these little switches here, and depending on the way you hit the switches will determine where the vent takes you. And this room has 2 really well concealed treasures. Right there, to the left, hidden in the wall, is a treasure chest, and then on the opposite side is another treasure chest. Yep, we have 2 really hard hidden treasure chests there. Really, difficult. People tend to miss them, so first thing we want to hit the switch on the right, and that'll take us to a different treasure here. 1 room. There are 4 different rooms. The first one that we came to when the switches were both down. Switch on the right up will take us to this room to get an elixir. Both switches up, which is what we're going to do now, will take us to a different room to get another treasure. And I'll grab this treasure, some more gil. Alright. And we head on back, and now we have one more way to go. So we'll just hit the one on the right again, so it pushes it down, and then that way we have the one on the left up, and then that'll take us to our next destination, which is where we need to go to continue on deeper into the dungeon. And we fly all around here, and we end up in this room. Now those vents suck you up, so you gotta be, you never want to step directly in front of them. you want to be at least like a tile down from them if you want to advance. So when we're going to that door in the upper right there, yeah, definitely going to want to, you know, walk down a little bit so you don't get sucked back into that past room. You know, we have a new enemy, but the interesting thing is this enemy is not in the bestiary. It's not considered, for some reason, this was an overlooked enemy. It does not have a bestiary entry. I'm going by the Game Boy Advance bestiary entry, and yeah, this monster is not considered in the entry. Now, I have another game guide, and it says this guy has about 7,000 hit points, but you'll notice that he takes a lot more damage than 7,000 hit points. I calculated, and it looked like it was close to like a little over 30,000 damage. So what I think happens is, and maybe it might be a little preview to the boss. See what he says? He says like illusion, and his shadow kind of changes. And if you have the illusion spell for like a ninja, the illusion ability, what it does is it makes copies of him or herself, whoever's the ninja. And what happens then is attacks will miss the ninja and like target one of the decoys. And with that, it'll just, you know, keep the ninja kind of safe. And as you can see, as we're dealing damage, the shadow on the ninja is changing. So with a covert there, he looks like a ninja. So I think that's what it is. It's like you hit him for like, say like 6,000 damage, and then he says like illusion, and like 3 more illusions of him pop up, and then you have to deal 6,000 damage to those other 3 illusions and him again. So that's another 24,000, and then that's your 30,000. So that's just my guess. Like I said, he doesn't have an official bestiary entry, so we don't know. So, but that's my guess, and I'm gonna stick to it. So, yeah, we got a rising sun. That's a boomerang that's, you know, adequately used by ninjas. So, guarded by ninjas. So, like I see, I walked down a tile a little bit below the vent there, so I don't get sucked back into that past room. So, yep. And here we're gonna have a little cottage, and we definitely want, as always, you wanna save our game whenever we hit a save point. Because there can be some tough enemies in here. And we just had a battle there, and I've switched out my party because Lena mastered her the Black Mage job. So we switched our parties around a little bit now to keep in touch with the jobs. It's important that Lena always has a new job because she's the one who's the most furthest behind, because she was out of our party there for that entire pyramid dungeon. So she fell behind. So it's okay if you know, somebody else is in a job. Everybody has mastered Time Mage, so it's okay that somebody's going to be in that job and not gain any ability points, because we'll have more than enough ability points to end up having everybody max every single job. So, but the main thing is, folks, is we don't want to have Lena in that Time Mage job or any job that she masters, because she's the one who needs the ability points the most. So right now, Whiskers is taking one for the team, and he's staying in a job that he's already mastered, but somebody got to do it, so way to go, Whiskers. He's saying, I'll take one for the team, and I'll take one for the ladies, because that's what a good guy does. A good guy's like, hey, I'll you know, put a little bit of, you know, suffering in my life to take care of the princesses that surround me. Yeah, so there you go, minions. At least that's what my daddy says, but I don't know if you really should take dating advice from him, because he's, like, still a single guy. Yeah. Yeah, we have that nice good old breath wing. The enemy's still using that breath wing, but, of course, that makes sense, because, it takes off 1/4 of your hit points. So, it's a percentage-based attack, so, yep. Always gonna be useful. So, but this guy, he is kind of annoying. The Tote Avis. He has a ton of hit points. Sadly, he does not give any gil or any experience, but he does give 7 ability points, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, he is very, very annoying, and if you control him and try to use that breath wing, I think, oh, I'll just control him, have him keep hitting himself with the breath wing, to, you know, keep reducing his hit points, and then, you know, he'll be easy. He'll just basically, you know, knock himself out. Unfortunately, the breath wing heals him, and it heals him for a lot of hit points, over 8,000, because he has over 32,000 hit points. Yeah, so, yeah, not fun. But we have a secret passage right here that allows us to get to this treasure, a crystal helm. Can't use it because we don't have knights. And we have another new enemy, the Shadow Dancer. Yep. They can be you can steal dancing daggers from them. But you know, I guess a pretty decent dagger, because you can use they can make your character potentially use a sword dance, and the sword dance does 4 times the amount of normal damage. So like if your character normally does, you know, say 2,000 damage, if it use the dancing dagger, it may cause them to do sword dance and do 8,000 damage. So, but like most you know, kind of abilities like that, it could be a crapshoot. So you know, you can play the odds. If you're a gambler, it might be something interesting for you to use, because, you know, you can high risk, well, low risk, but potentially high reward. So, and we've taken out the little Shadow Dancer, and woohoo! That means we can move further, deeper into this dungeon. Yay! See, it's not been so bad so far, minions. Nope. But don't worry, the next floor, it'll get a little bit worse. Now, I don't know if you've been following along as I play minions, but if you like to see me make mistakes, well, you're gonna like this floor. Not this room, because we're just gonna get a simple Beast Killer whip. It's a pretty good whip. It's not as strong as the Fire Lash, and it doesn't have any special properties like casting Fire 3 when it connects. But what it does do is it does auto critical hit on Beast type enemies. So, but there's a secret passageway over here, and I'm thinking, oh, let's go to the secret passageway. It's a much shorter way through this floor, but they put a little trap there. And now I fell down, so in my greed to take a shortcut, I ended up having to take the long way, minions. So, hey, so that's just your lesson for the day. Sometimes the shortcut isn't always the quickest way. So, yeah. Princess Wisdom. Yep. I'm pretty wise princess, don't you think? Yep. And now we're going to head over the right way now. We're not going to take that shortcut, which isn't really a shortcut. And we're just going to head up this way, head around, and going to head up to the next floor, which is full of more of those annoying holes. Yep. And head on through. Oh, I'm in 2 floors. Okay, so here we are. We're on the 5th floor. And pretty much directly in front of the treasure chest, they have holes. So you never want to hit the treasure chest directly from the front. However, there are also some hidden holes around here. So if you see me fall in one of those holes, well, just don't step on that if you're playing it. Like I said, if you have a character, the Geomancer, they can find pitfalls automatically, and you don't have to worry about that. But, and we also don't have to worry too much about these 2 enemies here, the Numbblades. As you can see, they're not too tough, only 2,400 hit points, so depending on who hits him with elemental spells, you might be able to take him out with 2 or 3 level 3 elemental spells. If Krill would have went earlier, we probably could have got him in 2 elemental spells, because she has that Magus Rod. You see the damage that she's doing? She's doing much more damage, about 50% more damage than Whiskers and Faris were doing with just regular unboosted elemental spells. So, yeah, we fell in a hole. If you fall in a hole, you can either go to the left or to the right. Either direction will take you back around. to this floor where you can get the treasure chests. Hey, another dragon fang. That's good for mixing. And of course, being silly and not knowing where the holes are because the map that I have does not have where the holes are listed. I'm gonna fall in the hole again. Aww. So minions, don't be like me. If you're playing along and you don't have a geomancer, just look at where I'm going and don't make through a successful run through this floor, and then just follow those. And we have another save point, and usually that means boss time. And we have an annoying boss coming up. So, as always, minions, you definitely want to heal up and use your use the save point to save your game in case something bad happens at the boss. And this boss is going to be the first of those minions that we saw released from Exdeath from the Interdimensional Rift. And those minions were apparently sealed in the Interdimensional Rift along with the Void back in the war 1,000 years ago. So you can tell that there must be really bad evil monsters if they were deemed so dangerous that they had to be sealed away into the Interdimensional Rift along with the Void, the most dangerous thing in the universe. So yeah, well, how are we gonna deal with them? Well, we're gonna deal with them slow and steady. Yep. So now, if any of you ever played Dragon Warrior 4, and I'm gonna play that game eventually, minions. This boss is kind of reminiscent of the final boss in the tournament, where he splits into multiple copies of himself, and of course only one is the real target. So you might think, hey, we'll just do a multi-targeting spell. I was excited by the thought of what warriors could have made it this far, but I see just a bunch of girls. Sorry ladies, I will send you all to your graves. Hey, Whiskers ain't a lady. This guy's confused with genders. Oh well, but here he is, the Stalker. The Mind Blast, that's a blue magic spell. It kind of paralyzes and I think lowers some stats. You could use, it's a spell that, there's only one other place in the final dungeon, basically, or the second to final dungeon where you can learn that spell. So, if you have a blue mage and you want to learn that spell, make everybody either a blue mage or have the learning ability for this battle so they learn the spell. Now, the Stalker, as I was saying, he makes 4 copies of himself and only one is real. So you just basically gotta, hit one and hope you hit the right one. Thankfully, he only has 20,000 hit points, so he doesn't have that many hit points. And he's susceptible to slow, so by speeding ourselves up, by fasting ourselves, and slowing him, we will definitely have the turn advantage here. Now, the thing is, he rotates which one he is, the real one is, every so often. So just because you hit, like for instance right now, we hit that one, that one may now be the real one. So, even though you just think, oh, it's fake, so it has to be a different one. Well, he can rotate it at any time, and you don't know when he's rotating it. So, theoretically, the moment after you hit one, it could, if it's fake, it could turn into the real one. So, it's kind of annoying, and you just gotta take it slow, one at a time. Now, you might be thinking, Princess Orisa, why don't you just, do a multi-targeting attack? Well, if you do a multi-targeting attack, what ends up happening is they all counter with their own multi-targeting attack, like a frost attack. And that deals, a lot of damage. And we don't have a pure healer. Yeah, Lena can throw potions, and maybe we could equip somebody else with the heal staff. But it's not enough to counteract taking 4 counterattacks. So it's much easier to just slow him down, speed ourselves up, and, take our chances just, playing with the 25% odds that the one that we target is the one that we hit. So, thankfully, we had that save point nearby, and we were able to use the cottage to heal ourselves up and get all our MP up because you know, obviously MP is going to be a big issue here. We're casting all these spells over and over again. So, hey, Whisker's got one right. Woohoo! Yeah, so every time we do get one right, depending on who hits it, if Krill hits it, she gets about 3,000. If Whiskers or Lena hits it, we get about 2,000. And if Faris hits it, it does either 1,000 if she just hits it with the whip, or 3,000 if it whips and the whip has a procures one of those fire 3 spells afterwards. So, like I said, depending on who hits it, we get between 2 and 3,000 1,000 and 3,000 damage. So you're looking at, I guess, on average, that's average about 2,000 damage per successful hit, and 20,000 hit points. So you're looking at 10 successful hits, and we should be able to take him out. So I guess with the 1 in 4 odds, we're looking at about 40 turns to take him out. But with being hasted, that's going much quicker than it normally should go. Thankfully, he's, like I said, he's also susceptible to slow, so even when he does manage to hit us with one of his attacks or with that hurricane spell, we're able to, heal ourselves back up pretty readily. Way to go, Whiskers. I think he's having the best luck so far. I know he's definitely hit it twice so far. That's a fifth of its hit points. Let's go, Whiskers. Maybe he's really mad because they got it wrong. They said they thought that he was a girl. He's like, don't call me a girl. Ooh, and he gets another one again. Wow, way to go, Whiskers. Whiskers, you're the MVP this time. Faris is not the MVP. I think she only hit like successfully once. Woo! Although Krill hit twice, I know of, and with her boosted damage, she's done more damage with 2 successful hits, or about the same as Whisker's 3 potential hits. So maybe you'll have to share the MVP award with Krill, Whiskers. Hey, Faris finally getting the job done and doing a good 3,000 damage. Oh, now Faris is like, hey, I should be MVP because I'm the one who finally took it out. And what happens is after you take the final one out, all you have to do is just, sit back, defend, and just wait for the remaining fake ones to just do whatever they do. They take a turn, you'll see they'll glow, they take their turn, and once they take their turn, then they fade away. And victory is ours, along with 20 ability points and the second tablet. Woohoo! That's 50% done, but we are not 50% done with this world, minions. We have plenty of things to do. In fact, getting this second tablet opens up our next area that we need to go to. This strange tower. The gate to the Fork Tower, resting place of the strongest white and black magic spells, has opened. There's something written on the tablet. The 2 in-houses of the strongest magics, Fork Tower. If the 2 houses are not traversed and spells are moved as one, both shall be destroyed and the tower rent asunder. Remember that for next time, minions. But that'll be our next dungeon, minions. It's not a tablet dungeon, but it is very important anyway. Take care. Bye!